Hypertension, salt, and insulin. Cutting carbs drops insulin, drops blood pressure. It is not the salt. Dr. Bikman, Dr. Berry.
Well, I love that you mentioned hypertension. I'll just say it's one thing to be eating salt. The kidneys are designed to deal with that salt. And insulin doesn't let it do it properly. And insulin's forcing the kidneys to hold on to that salt, which is holding on to water, and blood pressure just stays high. But it's also why people have such significant drops in blood pressure so quickly when they adopt dietary changes. If they look at their hypertension through the lens of insulin, then they just intuitively would say, or logically, how can I lower my insulin? All right, of the foods I eat, of the 3 macronutrients, of course, carbs spike insulin the most. I'm just going to start eating less. Boom. Blood pressure plummets just right lockstep with insulin coming down as well.
Early in my practice, when I was starting to recommend the ketogenic way of eating to my most morbidly obese, most metabolically ill patients, they would come back anywhere from 2 weeks to a month later and say, "Doc, I don't think this diet is right for me. Every time I stand up, I get lightheaded." That means that we can now stop one of your blood pressure medications. But so many people, so often, they become wedded to their medications. Like it's a part of them, right? Like I have to have my pills. And when I say, no, that's good, that means it's time to stop 1 or 2 of your blood pressure medications. You should see their face light up. It's the most beautiful thing. They're like, oh, I didn't think of it like that. I just love that so much.
Hypertension, salt, and insulin. Cutting carbs drops insulin, drops blood pressure. It is not the salt. Dr. Bikman, Dr. Berry. Hypertension and salt. Kidneys are designed to deal with that salt. Insulin does not let it do that properly. Insulin is forcing kidneys to hold on to that salt. That salt is holding on to water, which forces blood pressure to be high. Also, why people, when they change their diet, have a significant drop in blood pressure so quickly? If you look at hypertension through the lens of insulin, you would logically say, how can I lower my insulin? Consider the macronutrients. Carbs spike insulin the most, so I will eat less carbs. And then boom, blood pressure plummets in lockstep with insulin coming down. Dr. Berry. Early in my practice, when I would recommend the keto diet for morbidly obese patients, 2 weeks later, they would say, "Doc, this diet is not right for me. Every time I stand up, I get lightheaded." He would say, "That means we can now stop one of your meds." But many become wedded to their meds. When I say, "That is good. It is time to stop 1 or 2 of your blood pressure medications," their faces light up. It is the most beautiful thing to see. Annotated and summarized. Easy to share with loved ones. The description below the title for this video has these summary points.